So in yesterday's lecture, we have started with the chapter of atomic structure. In that, we have started with the first theory on atom, which is Dalton's theory of atom. And in that, we have seen that when first Dalton gave his theory, electrons, protons, and neutrons were not discovered. The only data which he had is the data of atomic mass, and based on that particular data, he has given some postulates. Okay. And according to him, atom is the smallest indivisible particle which actually takes part in a chemical reaction, which is true. But he said that atom cannot be divided further. Like atoms के अंदर electrons, protons और neutrons जो रहता है करके हमें अभी पता है. But पहले जब डाल्टन ने ये theory दिया था, उसने कहा atom is the smallest indivisible particle. You cannot divide atom further. And based on mass, he said that atoms having identical mass must belong to same elements, and atoms having different masses must belong to different elements. And the unique physical and chemical properties of the elements is because of the unique masses of different elements. All the properties are based on the masses, according to him. And एक point उसने जो बताया है, atoms combine in simple whole number ratios. This is true even now because atom is the smallest indivisible particle which takes part in the chemical reaction. So you can never encounter something like H 0.56 and O 2.5. it can be possible nahi hoga. But you can see some compounds of the formula Fe.930 or Fe.960 or some Fe.970. ये जो particular formula है, these formulas are the type of compounds called non-stoichiometric compounds. इनमें भी क्या होता है, atoms are combined in simple whole number ratios only. ये जो particular formula है इसके वजह से आएगा because ion can exist in two different oxidation states. Whenever the element can have variable oxidation states and whenever it is combining in variable oxidation states to form a compound, in that case you can have formulas like these. Okay, but इसमें भी क्या होगा, atoms are combining in simple whole number ratios only. उसके लिए हमने calculate भी किया है. If we are taking 100 atoms of oxygen, we are having 93 atoms of Fe. Out of those 93 atoms of Fe, if we consider X atoms are in +2 state and 93 minus X in +3 state, in order to have a neutral molecule, the total negative charge must be equal to the total positive charge. The total negative charge is oxidation state is -2. It's 200 into -2, which is nothing but 200 units of negative charge. So you need to have 200 units of positive charge. So X into 2 plus 93 minus X into 3, this must be equal to 200 units. Or X you got that as 79. अगर X 79 है तो Fe3 positive जो है, it is 14. So the number of iron atoms combining that, the number of iron atoms combining are again an integer which is 93, or else the ratio of Fe3 plus 2, Fe2 plus 2, Fe2 minus is 2 positive to 3 positive to 2 minus is 79 is to 14 is to 100, which is again a whole number ratio. So ये जो particular point है, atoms combine in simple whole number ratio, it is always true because atom is the smallest element which actually takes part in a chemical reaction. Okay. उसके बाद हमने drawbacks में we have seen the discovery of isotopes and isobars led to the failure of Dalton's theory. Isotopes are atoms having the same atomic number but different mass number. If they are having different mass numbers, obviously their masses will be different. So when Dalton finds the masses of these particular atoms, अगर इनका masses अलग-अलग आ रहे हैं तो he will definitely conclude that it should be atoms of different elements or they should be having different properties. But we know that all of these atoms are of the same element, which is hydrogen, and they are having most of the properties in common. So the discovery of isotopes led to the failure of Dalton's theory. According to Dalton, isobars must be atoms of the same element as they are having same masses. But we know that isobars are atoms of different elements because they are having different atomic numbers. जो argon है, it is having different physical and chemical properties, and calcium are having different physical and chemical properties. So finally, हम ये conclude कर सकते हैं, discovery of isotopes and isobars led to the failure of Dalton's theory. उसका theory जो है complete discard किया गया when electrons, protons, and neutrons were discovered. Okay, so we have seen the discovery of electron was made by J.J. Thomson. and the experiment is cathode ray experiment. So एक बार ये experiment के बारे में फिर से थोड़ा डिटेल में समझते हैं. In the experiment, we have taken a glass tube, which is also called as the Crookes tube or discharge tube. And inside the glass tube, we have placed two metal plates. And these two metal plates were connected across a battery, which is of very, very high voltage. The metal plate which is attached to the negative terminal of the battery is called as cathode. And it will be having a negative charge induced on it. The metal plate which is attached to the positive terminal of the battery is called as anode, and it will be having positive charge induced on it. In the apparatus, we have also placed something called ZNS screen just behind the anode. The property of the ZNS screen is it is called as phosphorescent. Phosphorescent का मतलब ये है it will produce sparks or it will be glowing or it will be emitting light. And ZNS screen के case में the property is whenever a charged particle falls on the ZNS screen, then it will produce sparks, or then it will be having its phosphorescent property. कब होगा ये? Whenever a charged particle falls on the ZNS screen, then only it will produce sparks. Okay. इनके अलावा हमने क्या किया? We have taken a gas at low pressure inside the tube. We need to take gas at low pressure because at high pressure gases are poor conductors. Low pressure का मतलब क्या है? Low pressure is nothing but less number of molecules. Okay. So when J.J. Thomson applied very high voltage, across the metal plates and placed the gas at low pressure, he started observing some rays emerging from the cathode, and they started traveling towards the anode, and they produced sparks on the ZNS screen placed behind the anode. So from this particular observation, the immediate conclusion which we can draw is cathode rays are emerging from the cathode. So one of the source of the cathode rays is the metal plate. And the next thing is these rays are producing sparks on the ZNS screen. ZNS screen के ऊपर sparks तभी आएगा if a charged particle falls on it. So I can conclude the rays which are emitted from the cathode must be charged. Okay, they must be charged. So once he concluded that they are charged, in order to know the nature of the charge, if it is a positive charge or a negative charge, उसने क्या किया? He placed an external battery. When he placed an external battery, the rays started deviating towards the positive terminal of the battery. From that, I can definitely conclude that these rays must be negatively charged. If they are positively charged, they must be attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery. But in this case, they are being attracted towards the positive terminal, hence they must definitely be negatively charged. Okay. उसके बाद हमने ये भी conclude किया that these rays are highly energetic or they are having high penetration power because they are penetrating this particular anode and they are producing sparks on this ZNS screen. After that, उसने क्या किया? In the path of the cathode rays, he placed a small wheel. Okay, he placed a small wheel or a mechanical wheel. Whenever he placed a mechanical wheel, because of the collision of the cathode ray particles with the wheel started to rotate. The wheel started to rotate. From this particular observation, he concluded that these rays must be made up of particles which should possess a property called mass. If there is no mass, there can't be any transfer of kinetic energy, or those particular particles cannot impart any force. Force के लिए formula क्या है? F is equals to ma है ना? Mass into acceleration. If and only if something has mass, then only it can exert force. Then only it can transfer its kinetic energy to another particle. So from this particular observation, we concluded that these rays must possess a property called mass. If they don't have mass, what will happen is a particular ray से इनके ऊपर गिरने के बाद the wheel will be heated up, so there will be generation of heat, but there won't be any rotation. So ये जो particular experiment है, ये भी important है. From this we concluded that cathode rays possess mass. Starting initially क्या conclude किया? Cathode rays are charged, and now we are saying that cathode rays also has mass. Okay. उसके बाद we have placed an opaque object. When he placed an opaque object, he found the shadow of the object. From that, we concluded that these rays are traveling in straight lines. Okay. So the observation which actually led to the discovery of the electron, or which actually led to the conclusion that cathode rays are fundamental, that particular observation is, उसने क्या किया? He calculated the value of charge upon mass ratio. चार्ज अपॉन मास रेशियो का मतलब क्या है? जो भी कैथोड रे पार्टिकल कैथोड के अंदर से आ रहा है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उसका चार्ज डिवाइडेड बाय उसका मास. उससे पहले there is one more hidden source of cathode rays, which is nothing but the gas atom. The cathode rays which are coming from the cathode are highly energetic. Whenever those rays falls on the atom, the negative charge which is present inside the atom can be kicked out. That particular negative charge is also now part of that particular cathode rays. That negative charge will be attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. As a result, वो जो negative charges बना है, along with this particular cathode rays negative charges together can be referred to as cathode rays. Okay, all the negative charges I am referring them to as cathode rays. So the sources of cathode rays are a metal plate as well as the gas atoms. Very, very important. The source of cathode rays is metal plate as well as gas atoms. Okay. उसने क्या किया? He calculated the value of E by M, and he calculated that particular value by repeating the experiment with different metal plates and different gases. He's changing the metal plate as well as the gases because the source of the cathode rays is metal plate and the gas atoms. There is no need to change the discharge tube. There is no need to change the zinc sulfide screen because cathode rays are not being emitted from them. I hope this is clear. Why is he changing the metal plate and the gas atoms? Okay. Then उसने changed. Sorry.
What if we apply magnetic field and electric current simultaneously? What will be the nature of the cathode rays?
Okay. जो magnetic field, electric field, I think आपने ये NCERT टेक्स्ट बुक में पढ़ा होगा. अभी के लिए तुम लोग कंफ्यूज होंगे करके वो चीज मैं समझाया नहीं. देखो, इस पर्टिकुलर केस में when we applied electric field, this is like battery. Whenever we are applying a battery, in a way we are applying the electric field. So in that particular electric field, the negative charge is deviated towards the positive terminal. Similarly, you can also apply a magnet here. You can place a north pole as well as south pole. तुम लोग magnetic effects of current या अपने 10th क्लास में इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट्स ऑफ ए मैग्नेट ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा होगा. है क्या ये चैप्टर तुम लोग को अपने 10th में?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Whenever you have a magnet, it will be whenever something cuts that particular magnetic field, there will be generation of electric field as well. ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा concept?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So whenever you are placing a magnet around this particular tube, you need not place a battery. In place of battery, you can also place a horseshoe magnet, which will be having a north pole as well as south pole. It will also be producing some field. ये जो particular charge है, whenever it is moving, movement of electric field will also produce a magnetic field. So the please be on mute. No. So whenever you are having a magnetic field here, because of the movement of the charge, there will be generation of magnetic field of this particular charge. So ये magnetic field और horseshoe magnet का magnetic field interact होके, then also there will be deviation of that particular charge. तुम लोग Fleming's rule ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा होगा. It will be deviated towards either north pole or south pole. Fleming's right hand thumb rule कुछ तो रहेगा ना?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So even from that particular observation, you can conclude that these are charged and these are negatively charged, depending upon their deviation towards north pole or south pole. उस केस में क्या किया है, उसने ये भी किया है, he confirmed it with the help of both electric field and magnetic field. Magnetic field केस में क्या करना पड़ेगा, you need to place a horseshoe magnet around this, which will be having a north pole and a south pole, and which will be generating a magnetic field. ये जो particular electrons जो particular negative charge है, the moment of charge will be creating an electric field. The disturbance in electric field can also generate a magnetic field. So इसका magnetic field और इसका magnetic field दोनों interaction के time पे it will be deviating either towards the north pole or the south pole. Okay, so from that also you can conclude it is negatively charged. But सब लोगों का basic understanding ये होता है negative और positive charges attract होगा, इसकी वजह से मैंने बस वही समझाया. You can definitely say this particular negative charge will be having some interaction with magnetic field provided the charge is in motion. Definitely, ये जो particular cathode rays है, they are in motion and they can have an interaction. Okay. ठीक है. हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं? We are seeing the observation of E/M ratio when J.J. Thomson changed the sources, which are the metal plates and the gas atom, irrespective of the metal plate and the gas atoms. In all the cases, he observed the same observations, which are the sparks on the ZNS screen, the rotation of the wheel, and the shadow. From that, he concluded that these rays are present in each and every metal plate or gas atom, which is nothing but element. If something is present in each and everything, I can say that particle is fundamental to each and every element. Fundamental करके decide करने के लिए और भी एक चीज important है. The particles which are present in each and everything must be of the same nature. They are of the same nature करके कैसे conclude किया? When he calculated E upon M. E upon M क्या है? The charge, the magnitude of the charge of the cathode ray particle divided by the magnitude of the mass of the cathode ray particle. So if he is calculating E/M ratio in different cases, interestingly found the E/M ratio is coming to a unique value, and the value is 1.758820 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. Charge का unit है coulomb, mass का unit है kg, hence it is coulomb per kg. The E/M ratio of all the cathode ray particles is always same. Hence I can conclude the cathode rays which are present in different elements should be of the same nature. If they are of different natures, वो जो E/M ratio है, वो जो value है, वो different आना चाहिए था. But same value आ रहे, hence I am concluding that the cathode rays which are present in different elements are of same nature. From that I am concluding that they are fundamental. Fundamental मतलब the particles which are present in each and every element, and their nature is same in all the elements. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you are having
Yes,
any
sir.
doubt, please let me know. यहाँ तक clear है करके मैं मान रहा हूँ. Now we will be seeing an experiment to the value of options. Yeah, we are in that particular thing, जो 200 FE उसकी में, we are just equating the magnitude of charges. We are saying that total magnitude of negative charge must be equal to the total magnitude of positive charge. Okay. Let us see an experiment from which we will see the charge of the electron. The experiment's name is Millikan's oil drop experiment. This is also an interesting experiment. Let us understand that first. Millikan's oil drop experiment. What is the purpose of this experiment?
Charge of electron.
To know the charge on an electron. Okay. इसका भी apparatus एक बार पहले देख लेते हैं. You have a glass chamber. Inside the glass chamber, again you have two metal plates. One metal plate is placed at the center, and another metal plate is placed at the bottom. And these two metal plates are again connected to a battery. Okay. This is positive terminal. This is negative terminal. The metal plate which is attached to positive terminal will be having positive charge on it. One which is attached to negative terminal will be having negative charge on it. Okay. अभी बीच में कुछ तो space जैसे रखा मैंने, which is actually something like this. अगर ये metal plate है तो बीच में थोड़ा space है. Okay. वो metal plate ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ रह के इतना सारा space वैसा नहीं है. बीच में there is some space. Okay. In the experiment, Millikan ने क्या किया? He sprayed some oil droplets. Atomizer. This is called as atomizer. Barber shop में जो रहता है ना, तो in order to sprinkle water, वैसा ही कुछ है. With the help of this particular atomizer, he sprayed some oil droplets. Okay. पहले मुझे ये बताओ, whenever he is spraying the oil droplets, will you form oil droplets of different sizes or of the same size?
Different sizes.
Different size.
We will be having oil droplets of different sizes, right? Or else ऐसा भी कुछ सोच सकते हैं, if two or more oil droplets are coming close to each other, they may combine among themselves and they form a larger oil droplet. So in this particular region, you are having oil droplets of different sizes. Okay, ठीक है. ये सबसे पहले, before having a battery and before having the oil droplets, first you need to get electrons out of the atom, because you want to see or you want to find the charge on an electron. If you want to find the charge on an electron, you need to isolate those electrons. Electrons का isolate करने के बाद you can find the charge on them. So उसके लिए क्या किया उसने? We know that an atom is made up of electrons as well as some other entities. For now, as of now, we know that an atom is made up of electrons and some other entities. उसने क्या किया? In order to isolate electrons, he incidented some energy on the electron. What will happen if I incident energy on the electron? The energy of the electron will be increased. The energy of the electron will be increased. ये वाला कुछ points अभी मैं बताने वाला हूँ. Please everyone make very good note of them. Whenever energy of any particular species or any particular system is increasing, we say that the stability of the system is decreased. Okay? जिनका एनर्जी बढ़ जाएगा, the stability will be decreased. ऐसा क्यों बोल रहा हूँ मैं? If something is having more and more energy, it will always try to interact with other things. So it is not stable. If something is happy by itself, if it is not interacting with other things, then we say it is stable. If something is interacting with other things of the system, other entities present inside the system, we say it is not stable or it is unstable. ये कब होगा? Whenever the energy is more. अगर energy ज़्यादा है तो तब भी interact करेगा. Energy ज़्यादा नहीं है तो interact नहीं करेगा. ये वाला point clear है? क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? The first point is, इधर लिख रहा हूँ सब points ऐसा. more the energy, less is the stability. मैं हमेशा एक बेसिक एग्जांपल देता हूँ इसके लिए. Whenever you are present inside a classroom, if you are present inside a classroom, classroom stable का मतलब क्या है? और जो पर्टिकुलर क्लासरूम है उसके अंदर जो भी स्टूडेंट्स है, they should not make any noise. ये कब होगा? If they are having less amount of energy. If they are having more and more amount of energy inside them, they will always tend to speak with other students and disturb the lecture. If they are having very less amount of energy, then they will be stable. They won't be interacting with other students. जितना ज़्यादा energy रहेगा, उतना ही ज़्यादा unstable system रहेगा. Whatever I am teaching, you won't be concentrating on that particular things. You will be interacting with other students. So in order to have a stable system, the energy of the system must be less. ये clear है point? ठीक है. This is with respect to energy. The stability with respect to energy is stability is inversely proportional to energy. Inversely proportional to energy. Stability can also be related to attractive forces and repulsive forces. If we are having more and more attractive forces, the system will be stable. If you are having very less attractive forces or repulsive forces, the system will be unstable. इसका मतलब क्या है? If there are attractive forces between the students and the teacher, जो भी teacher पढ़ाता है, you will be concentrating on that particular lecture, and the system will be stable. If you are concentrating on the lecture, obviously you won't be interacting with others. और तुम लोग का energy तब क्या होगा? कम रहेगा और stability क्या होगा? ज़्यादा रहेगा. If there are repulsive forces, if you don't like that particular lecture, what will happen? You will definitely tend to talk to the other students. In that particular case, obviously I can say the energy is increased. So repulsive forces क्या करेगा? Repulsive forces will be increasing energy of the system, thereby decreasing the stability. Attractive forces will decrease the energy of the system, thereby increase the stability. Is this point clear, everyone? इधर लिख रहा हूं मैं. Attractive forces increases stability. Energy and stability are inversely proportional. So I can also say if it is increasing stability, I can say it is decreasing energy. Similarly, I can say repulsive forces decreases stability and increases energy. ये बोल सकते हो तुम लोग. Okay. ये जो magnitude of attractive forces है, magnitude of attractive forces, on what factors will it depend? Can I say it will depend upon the distance? Less is the distance between the two entities which are being attracted, more will be the attractive forces. Again, you can take the example of the classroom. If there are more and more attractive forces, the students will tend to occupy the first benches. If there are repulsive forces, the student will tend to go to the farther benches from the teacher. Agar if you are liking that particular lecture, you will always tend to sit close to the dais. In that particular case, the attractive forces are more. If you are not disliking the lecture, suppose in that मान लेते पहला benches free है, empty है. Even though they are empty, you tend to sit in the back bench. इसका मतलब क्या है? Attractive forces कम हो गया और repulsive forces ज़्यादा हो गया. So if you are going away and away from the dais, I can say the attractive forces are decreased or the stability is decreased. Similarly, electron के case में, if the electron is going away and away from the nucleus, what will happen to the attractive forces? The attractive forces will be decreased or the stability will be decreased. If the stability is decreased, what will happen to the energy? It will increase. So basic final conclusion ये है, as the electron goes away and away from the nucleus, in nucleus से if the electron goes away and away from the nucleus, energy of the electron increases because attractive forces are decreasing. ये वाला point clear है? So finally, if the energy of the electron is increased to such extent, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हो गया, तब क्या होगा, न्यूक्लियस से इन्फ्लुएंस से बाहर चला जाएगा, मतलब क्लासरूम से बच्चा स्टूडेंट जो है वो बाहर चला जाएगा, पहले सेकंड बेंच पे गया, थर्ड बेंच पे गया, फोर्थ बेंच पे गया, सिक्स्थ बेंच पे गया, सिक्स्थ बेंच के बाद हमारे पास बेंचेस बचा ही नहीं, तब क्या होगा, he will be exiting the lecture or he will be going out of the class. Okay, उतना ज्यादा रिपल्सिव फोर्सेस हो गया तो so इस पर्टिकुलर केस में भी क्या है, if I am increasing the energy of the electron, everyone please concentrate, if I am increasing the energy of the electron, it will be going away and away from the nucleus. अगर इसके ऊपर इलेक्ट्रॉन के ऊपर उतना ज्यादा अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी हमने इम्पार्ट किया, तब क्या होगा, इलेक्ट्रॉन विल बी कमिंग आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम, इलेक्ट्रॉन विल बी कमिंग आउट ऑफ द एटम. That particular process is called as ionization. So in order to do ionization, you need to impart some energy on it. Ionization होने के बाद क्या होगा, it will be converting into some positively charged entity along with the electron. The process is called as ionization. And ये जो particular rays है, these are some high energetic rays. And
X-ray source.
Particular case, I have taken an X-ray source. X-rays are some highly energetic rays. Whenever I am imparting some X-rays on the atom, electron on absorbing those particular X-rays, the energy of the electron is increased. अगर energy of the electron increase हो गया तो it will be moving away and away from the nucleus. After one particular point, it will be coming out of the atom. मतलब we have isolated those particular electrons from the atom. Okay, so at the start of the reaction, at the start of the experiment, उसने क्या किया, the air which is present between these two metal plates, which is present between these two metal plates, he ionized that particular air with the help of X-rays. इधर मैं क्या लिख सकता हूँ, air is ionized with the help of X-rays. Okay, so now this particular part, it has both the positively charged entities as well as electrons. We are not worried about those particular positively charged entities. We are worried about electrons because we want to find the charge on an electron. I hope ये point clear है सभी लोग को. Can I move further? Are these points clear? First of all, more is the stability,
Yes, sir.
less must be the energy of the system. Less is the energy, more is the stability, or more is the energy, less will be the stability. With respect to attractive forces, more are the attractive forces, more will be the stability, and less will be the energy. And ये जो attractive forces है, they depend upon the distance. Less is the distance, more will be the attractive forces. The distance I am referring between unlike charges. Okay, ठीक है. अब क्या करेंगे? अब start करते हैं experiment. Whenever he sprinkled or sprayed some oil droplets, the oil droplets will be falling down because of the gravity. These oil droplets will be pulled towards that. As a result, these oil droplets will be falling down. When these oil droplets are falling between the region, this particular region, in this particular region, what will happen? इस particular region के अंदर you are having electrons. So ये जो electron है, as well as positively charged too. Positively charged भी उनके ऊपर जाके लग सकता है. I am दोनों parallelly हो रहे हैं. Electrons भी लग रहे हैं, positive charge भी लग रहे हैं. If electrons are attached more, क्या होगा? इस particular oil droplet के ऊपर कौन सा charge आ जाएगा?
Negative.
Can I say that? And electrons इनके ऊपर इसलिए attach होगा. There will be positive interaction between oil droplet and the electron. ये interaction कैसे बनेगा? We will be understanding in detail in periodic properties. But as of now, ये मान के जाएंगे that electrons are attracted or attached onto the oil droplet. Okay, ठीक है. If electrons are attached onto the oil droplet, I am taking such an oil droplet outside and I am analyzing it. सभी लोग सुनो. On the top, you are having a positively charged metal plate. On the bottom, you are having a negatively charged metal plate. I am taking one oil droplet and उसके ऊपर क्या हुआ है? Electrons आके, there are electrons on it. Okay. The number of electrons attached, can I say it will be a function of the size of the oil droplet?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.
More is the size, greater will be the number of electrons which will be attached. Less is the size, lesser will be the electrons. जितना ज्यादा साइज होगा उसका उतना ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आके लगेंगे. जितना कम साइज रहेगा उतना कम इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लगेंगे. But I can definitely say whenever electrons are attached, they will always do that in integer numbers. Either you can have 10 electrons or 15 electrons or 20 or 100 or 1, 2, 3, 5 electrons, etc. I can definitely say electrons are attached on the oil droplet in integer numbers. Electron तो indivisible है, electron को आधा नहीं कर सकता हूँ. Okay, so I can say electrons are attached in integer numbers. Okay, कम से कम कितने electrons attach होगा? Least
एक.
highest can be anything. It depends upon the size of the oil droplet. Okay, ठीक है. That let us say the total charge on oil droplet because of all the electrons is equals to some small q. Okay, अभी इस particular पूरा oil droplet के ऊपर total charge कितना है? Q है. If the oil droplet is negatively charged, yeah, tell me.
ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट का कोई चार्ज नहीं होता है क्या?
ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट का कुछ चार्ज नहीं है. ऑयल न्यूट्रल है. ओके
सर पर वो
थैंक यू सर.
या हाँ कोई कुछ तो कह रहा है. वाटर करके
एटम्स के ही बने होंगे ना?
सॉरी,
वो ऑयल एटम का बना होगा ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ.
या ऑयल विल बी मेड अप ऑफ एटम बट द नेट चार्ज विल बी न्यूट्रल. ऑयल के अंदर अभी प्रोटॉन्स भी है, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स भी है. द नेट चार्ज इज न्यूट्रल. Each and everything is made up of atoms and they will be having definitely charge. Whenever we say charge, we are always referring to net charge. Okay, so the oil droplet net weight is neutral. Whenever electrons are attached onto it, because of the presence of extra electrons in the system, it will be negatively charged overall. I hope this point is clear.
Yes sir.
Okay, ठीक है. अभी इसके ऊपर नेट में नेगेटिव चार्ज है तो if we are having a positive plate above, can I say this particular negatively charged oil droplet will be attracted towards this?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
So there will be an attractive force between the negatively charged oil droplet and the positive plate. And नीचे क्या है? You are having a negatively charged metal plate. ये भी negative है और ये वाला भी negative है. Negative के बीच में क्या होगा?
Repulsion.
Repulsive forces. So there will be another force which will be acting upwards, which is the repulsive force between positive and negative charge. Okay, so which is the repulsive force between the two negative charges. One of the force is attractive between positive plate and negative droplet, and another force is repulsive between the negative plate and the negative droplet. Okay, ठीक है. Is there any force which is acting downwards?
mg.
ग्रेविटी, ये जो पर्टिकुलर ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट है, it is falling down in first place because of the
Gravitational force.
gravitational force. So ये जो particular oil droplet है, इसके ऊपर अभी वो भी force है, downward force, which is nothing but the weight of it, mg. So you are having two forces acting upwards and one force acting downwards. The upward force is generated because of the interaction between the metal plates and the charge on the oil droplet. The downward force is because of the mass of the oil droplet. If the upward force balances the downward force, if upward forces balances downward forces, what will happen?
It will become neutral.
Yes. Neutral.
Neutral.
It will
मतलब
float.
वो बीच में रुक जाएगा.
बीच में रुक जाएगा. The oil droplet will become stationary. If upward forces balance downward forces, I can say oil droplets become stationary. Can I say this? So क्या हुआ है? Different oil droplets are becoming stationary at different positions. That is based upon their sizes. उनके size के हिसाब से उनके ऊपर different electrons लगेगा. So magnitude of attractive and repulsive forces, those will be different, and the mass of them will be different. As a result, you will be having different oil droplets becoming stationary at different positions inside the chamber. Okay.
Where is the viscous force acting?
Viscous force will be acting in the opposite direction, क्योंकि ये जो particular वो वाला हम इस particular case में neglect कर रहे हैं, because the magnitude of it will be very less. क्योंकि ये जो air है, viscous force will be always acting in the opposite direction ना. Friction will be viscous force is a type of frictional force.
Yes.
So it will be acting in the opposite direction. So उसका magnitude हम neglect कर रहे हैं because it is not of that particular significance. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
ठीक है, good, ठीक है. अभी if I am analyzing such an oil droplet, I am saying that the upward forces are balancing the downward force. देखो, सबसे पहले we just need to understand the analysis of it. We don't have to do any calculation. उसने exactly कैसे calculate किया है, उसका method हम समझ रहे हैं. We are understanding the experiment. We are, as of now, we don't have any formulas. अपना पास उतना ज़्यादा knowledge नहीं है in order to calculate these things. We are just trying to understand his procedure. Okay. देखते हैं. अभी ये जो particular metal plate के ऊपर, let us say the total positive charge is capital Q. Similarly, negative charge भी क्या होगा? It will be minus Q. The upward force is because of the interaction. ये जो upward force generate हुआ है, it is because of the interaction between capital Q and small q. Okay, and downward force जो भी है, it is because of weight of oil droplet. वो जो upward force है, I am taking that as the interaction among the q as well as small q. There will be some constant k. This must be equal to downward force, which is m into g. जैसे weight में हम g करके constant मानते हैं ना, वैसा ही मैं ये मान रहा हूँ some constant k रहेगा whose value is known. जैसे g का value हमको पता है 9.8 करके, similarly k का value कुछ तो रहेगा, which is because of the interaction among charges. Don't get confused because of this particular k. If you want, I will remove this k. ये k निकाल रहा हूँ मैं. There is some interaction between q and q. That interaction must be equal to mg. Then only an oil droplet will become stationary. This is not the exact mathematical expression. Please understand this. There will be some constant. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you are having any doubt, you can ask me now. मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? All those oil droplets which are becoming stationary, I am applying an equation. The reason for becoming stationary, the reason is the upward forces are balancing the downward force. The upward force is because of the interaction between the charges, and the downward force is because of the weight of it. The expression for the interaction, I'm saying that it is some Q into Q with some constant K. और जो constant K है, I'm not worried about it because we are not doing the exact calculation. So the interaction among Q and Q must be equal to mg. Now let us understand what are the knowns in this particular equation and what are the unknowns. ये जो capital Q है, the capital Q is nothing but the charge on the metal plate. ये जो charge on the metal plate है, ये किस वजह से आया? Because of the battery. The battery which you are applying across the metal plates, you are choosing that particular battery. So if you are choosing that, you will be knowing the amount of charge which will be induced on the metal plate. So जो capital Q है, it is a known quantity, at least for that milliton. हमारे पास हमको अभी नहीं पता exactly कितना है, कैसे calculate करना है, but उसको तो पता है ना? The capital Q is a known quantity. What is small q? What is small q?
Charge.
The charge on the oil droplet, is it a known quantity or an unknown quantity?
Unknown quantity.
Unknown quantity.
And it depends upon the total number of electrons attached onto the oil droplet. Depending upon the number of electrons, this Q will be varying. More the number of electrons, the value of Q will be more. Less the number of electrons, the value of Q will be less. As of now, ये जो Q है unknown quantity है, यही हम find करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, ये जो M है, what is M? What is M?
Mass.
Mass of oil drop.
Oil droplet. Is that a known quantity or unknown quantity?
Unknown quantity.
Known quantity. Known.
Known.
Known quantity. Can you find the mass of the oil droplet? If so, tell me how.
Equation में डाल के.
Equation में डाल के, कौन सा equation में?
By measuring the rate of fall of these droplets.
By measuring the
Rate of fall of these droplets.
rate of fall of oil droplets. वो थोड़ा बहुत ही ज़्यादा मुश्किल जैसा हो जाएगा, पता नहीं होगा इससे कैसे measure भी करेंगे. But you can, if you know the size of the oil droplet is becoming stationary, right? If it is becoming stationary, with the help of any instrument, you can measure the size of the oil droplet. And I can assume each and every oil droplet to be a sphere. If it is a sphere, if we are finding the radius of the oil droplet, what will be the volume of it? It will be 4 by 3 pi r cube.
4 by 3 pi r cube. Yes.
Volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. ये जो oil है, this particular oil, you are choosing it. So you will be knowing the density of the oil. If you know the density, let us say the density as rho. If you know the density and if you know the volume, what is mass? Mass is nothing but volume times density, right?
Volume into density.
So ये जो M है, it is also a known quantity. Mass of the oil droplet, you can find that with the help of the size of the oil droplet. You can find the size of the oil droplet because the oil droplet is becoming stationary. You can measure that with any laboratory instrument. Okay? उसने find किया है, अभी हमको ज़्यादा टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं, वो कैसे find किया. There are some instruments to measure the sizes of the very small entities. So उससे उसने measure करके, once you know the size of the oil droplet, you can find the mass of it by multiplying the volume with density. So ये जो M है, this is also a known quantity. G is also a known quantity. So what is the only unknown?
Q.
Q.
Small q.
So उसने क्या किया? For different oil droplets which are becoming stationary, he applied the equation and he found the value of Q. उसका जो भी Q का वैल्यूज आया है फाइनल उसका रिजल्ट्स, I will be giving you those results. From observing those results, tell me the charge on the electron. Q का वैल्यूज इसको ऐसा कुछ आया है. 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So on. He got some values and he arranged all those values in increasing order or in ascending order. Those values are like 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, so on and so forth. From this particular data, what can you conclude? Anyone?
1.6 चार्ज होगा क्योंकि वो लोएस्ट है ना.
Sorry, not audible. Can you repeat?
1.6.
1.6 बोल रहे.
Q is equals to NE.
Q is equals to N into E. Okay. ये जो particular charges है, all these charges, can I say they are multiples of some n time 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. इस particular case में n equals to 2 हो गया, इस particular case में n equals to 3 हो गया, इस particular case में n equals to 4 हो गया. Or else I can say ये जो 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 जो है, it is repeating on each and every oil droplet. Or I can say ये जो particular 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb आया है, this is the least amount of charge which he obtained. And least कब आएगा? Whenever only one electron attaches onto the oil droplet. And every other charge is a multiple of this particular 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So I can conclude this is nothing but charge on an electron. Is the conclusion clear?
Yes, sir.
ये जो particular values आया उसको calculate करने के बाद, the calculation is he equated the upward forces with the downward forces. The only unknown in the equation is the charge on the oil droplet. The charge on the oil droplet is a function of the size of the oil droplet. Greater is the size, more will be the electrons on it. If more are the number of electrons, the charge will be more. Okay, there will be different sizes of the oil droplets. He repeated the experiment various times. When he calculated the charges, usko, in all the experiments, the least charge which he obtained is always 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, and all other charges, he was able to express them in terms of this particular multiple 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So you can definitely conclude this particular charge is repeating in all the oil droplets. Or else I can take this as one basic unit, which is nothing but the charge on an electron. I hope this is clear to everyone. I hope the experimental procedure is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
इस particular experiment से हमको इतना ही जानना है. The charge on the electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. No need to do any of the calculations. They may give you one question something like this. Which of the following question there on? Which of the following will be a impossible value of Q? What is Q? Q is the total charge on the oil droplet. Option A, 160 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Option B, 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 16 coulomb. Option C, 5.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Option D, 6.4 into 10 raised to minus 18 coulomb. What will be the answer?
C.
Which of the following will be possible value of Q?
C.
C.
Okay. और जो A है ऑप्शन A कब आ सकता है? If you are having 10 electrons, if you are having 10 electrons on the oil droplet, you can get 160 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. You are multiplying the charge of 1 electron with 10. So ये वाला आंसर आ सकता है. If you are having 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 16 कब आएगा? कब आ सकता है? If you are having
into 3.
into 3, ये 10 raised to minus 16, 19 नहीं है, 16 है. Into 3000.
3 into 10 raised
3 into 10 raised to 3. If you are having 3000 electrons attached onto the oil droplet, then the charge will be this. ये कब आएगा? If you are having 40 electrons, I am simply dividing say 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 by these numbers. Okay? ये जो particular value आएगा 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 or 5.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. It will be a fraction. Fraction में कब आएगा? Whenever you are dividing those particular electrons. Always you need to get the charge as an integer multiple of charge of electron. This is not an integer multiple. This will be some fraction, which is not possible. Clear hai? This is the only question which can be asked in this particular case. They will ask you, what is the charge which is impossible on the oil droplet? Which is not an integer multiple will be the answer. Is this clear? Is this clear, this experiment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
ठीक है. Okay. ठीक है. If you are having any doubts in these two experiments, cathode ray experiment and the Millikan oil drop experiment, please ask me now. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. What is the E upon M ratio of cathode ray?
1.75.
उसका वैल्यू कुछ लिया है ना हमने, which is
1.75 8200.
okay, relax. It is 1.7588200 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the charge on electron? E is equals to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. If you know the charge of the electron and if you know E upon M, can you find the mass of it? What will be mass? Mass is nothing but E upon
1.91.
1.75 88200 into 10 power 11 na. Solve this, calculate this and tell me the answer. You can take 1.75 as 1.76 into 10 power 11. 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb divided by 1.76 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. तो coulomb कैंसिल होगा, जो भी आंसर आएगा तुम लोग को kgs में आएगा. Solve this and let me know the value.
9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg.
Okay. ये जो पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू है क्या आएगा? 0.91 into 10 to minus 30 kg. If you are shifting a point, it will be 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. So the mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, which is very, very less. And the charge of electron. Charge of electron is 1.6 as it is negatively charged. Minus put कर रहा हूँ. Minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb.
Online. हाँ? इतना दीदी ने हॉटस्पॉट दिलाय ना.
You need to remember these two values. The mass of the electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, and the charge of electron is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. What is the charge of proton then? It will be plus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Okay? Okay. Overall, you have only 10 minutes left. So I won't be starting discovery of proton in this lecture. We will see that in the next lecture. एक बार revise कर लेते हैं. The major important points of cathode ray experiment is cathode rays are negatively charged. उसके बाद they have high penetration power or they are having high amount of energy, and cathode rays possess some mass, and the E/M ratio of the cathode rays is the constant. ये value important हमको. E/M ratio is constant and the value is 1.75 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. दूसरा point ये important है. They will ask you what is the source of the cathode rays. They will give you metal plate, gas atoms, both, none of this. So the answer will be metal plate as well as the gas atoms. Okay. ठीक है. And they will ask you what is the E/M ratio of cathode ray particles. Is it a constant or a variable? The answer is it is a constant. And based on that particular observation, as it is constant, we are saying that the cathode rays which are present in different elements must be of the same nature. Hence, we are treating them as fundamental. And those particular fundamental cathode ray particles are considered as electrons by Stoney. In order to measure the charge on an electron, Millikan ने एक experiment किया, which is called as oil drop experiment. In order to find the charge on the electron, you need to first isolate the electrons from the system. In order to isolate them, we are doing a process called ionization. In the ionization, we are incidenting some energy on the electron. If the energy of the electron is increased, it will be going away and away from the nucleus. If there is sufficient amount of energy, the electron will be isolated, or the electron will be removed from the particular system. Those electrons are present in this particular part now. When the oil droplet is falling through the space between the metal plates, the oil droplets will be attracting the electrons onto itself. As the size of the oil droplet is different, the number of electrons attached on the oil droplet will be different, and respectively the charge which is present on the oil droplet will be varying. Okay, this particular charge will now be having an interaction with the positively charged metal plate and the negatively charged metal plate. With the positively charged metal plate, it will be an attractive force. With the negatively charged metal plate, it will be a repulsive force. So you are having two forces acting upwards, and because of the weight of the oil droplet, there is a force acting downwards. When these forces balance, the oil droplet can become stationary. In such case, you can apply the balance of the forces. The upward force is because of the interaction between capital Q and small q. Capital Q is the charge on the metal plate. Small q is the total charge on the oil droplet. The downward force is because of the weight of the oil droplet, which is mass of it multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. In the equation, the only unknown is the total charge on the oil droplet. So by equating this equation, by solving this equation, you can find the total charge on the oil droplet. And on different oil droplets, the values obtained are 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, and all other values are multiples of this particular 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So I can say this basic unit is repeating in all the cases. So this particular smallest unit is taken as charge of 1 electron. क्योंकि least कब आ सकता है if only 1 electron attaches onto the oil droplet. बाकी सब कब आएगा if they are attaching in the multiples of 1 electron. Always electrons will be attached in integer values. As a result, I can say the value which is not an integer, multiple of the least charge will be an impossible value. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, with the help of E and with the help of E upon M, we calculated the mass of the electron as 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. I hope this is clear to everyone. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me right now.
नो सर।
बिल्कुल कुछ डाउट नहीं है।